Today, we're using up stuff that just seems to keep getting slid to the back of our craft room. You know, every time something new comes up, you play with that and your other stuff goes to the back. So today, that's what we're going to do. Hi, this is Kelly with Kelly's Creative Dream Studios, and it's Tag Tuesday. Now, you're going to see this a little bit later in the day than normal. We had to go out and pay bills yesterday, and when I came home, I was determined I wasn't going to do anything except work on my book. So that was my goal yesterday. It's time to start thinking about St. Patrick's Day and all things green and being Irish. Well, I was always told I was Irish. You know how family stories are. You're told one thing and you find out something different. My sister did the DNA test several years ago and found out there is virtually no Irish in our background, I believe is what she told me. I thought that was interesting. Now, I've got to cut a new tag base, so these are 2.5 by 5 is what I've been using for this. And I'm using the heavyweight cardstock. And man, now that I cut that, that looks awfully small, but I know it's right because I measured one of the other ones because I realized I didn't have any blanks left. So we have a 2.5 by 5, and you know what I forgot? Paper. So let's dip into our Christmas paper over here and see what kind of green we have. I really do like this plaid for this. So let's do this. Oh, wait a minute. No, we're not using paper today. Duh. That's next week. Next week, we're going to do a reverse canvas on a tag. You're going to love that one. So for today, though, how many of you have washi tape? Did you know that over time, this washi tape will lose its sticky? So we're going to work on avoiding that today. And we're going to get out washi tape, and that's what we're going to use for our background. Now, one thing to keep in mind is glitter usually doesn't hold very well anyway. It usually needs a little reinforcement, but all these others are going to start losing their sticky. Now, this one kind of looks like a Christmassy. It's from a Stampin' Up! Christmas line. This one's from Stampin' Up!, I believe. Yep. And this one was from a color collection that I got at Hobby Lobby. Now, I'm going to start with, I think, the green. And what I'm going to do is I am going to just run glue all over here. And I want to make sure I get to the edges on this one, because I want to make sure that the glue is at the edges, because I'm not going to be squishing a lot, so I want to make sure that the glue is where it's supposed to be. And then I'm going to use a palette tool, and I'm going to spread that glue evenly across the surface. And then I'm going to hopefully slide this out of the way, because if I don't, I'm going to have glue on that. And I'm going to pick up a piece of my contact paper back. And see, I messed with glue and I've got it on me already. Now this is going to start drying up really quick, so I'm going to have to come back, I think. But I want to get started laying this down, and I decided I wanted to do it at an angle as soon as I find the end. There we go. I found it. And I don't remember where I got this. I think it was a collection from Hobby Lobby. Now I want to make sure that I hang off the ends. I'm going to press that in. Where's my sticky scissors? And I'm going to snip that off. Okay, and I know I got to slide up into frame. Okay, here we go. It is still early. I've not been awake very long. Now this one, the shamrocks probably don't really have to worry about a directional, but I am going to kind of pay attention to that. And we're just going to butt that up right against the other one. Press it down. Snip it off. And I think I want to do that one on both sides of that glitter. And I probably should be doing this with my glasses on so I could see where I'm butting it up against the edge. But if I miss some spots, it's okay, because we're going to be covering this up. And then, where is my roller tool that came off its handle? Ah! Okay, so we're just going to do this, give that a quick run. And then I think I want to come in with this wider green And this is all we're going to do. Now, if the glue starts to dry, some of this is going to dry quicker than others. I mean, it's going to stick better than others on its own. And that's okay too. Just want to try and get it right up to the edge. That one I'm just going to tear off. Let's come back with the lines on this side. And see, that one's, it's probably sticking to the roller and itself better than it would stick to the edge. And let's put some rainbows in here. Oh, let's do the pot of golds. Those I want to make sure they go at a direction. Now, aside from the washi tape today, we're going to be using stickers. If you are a planner, you probably have stickers that are just sitting and not being used. And we're going to take care of part of that today, too. Because I happen to have some that I got off of clearance at Hobby Lobby. Now I'll come back in with another set of this green, like that. Get those out of my way. They're not as helpful as I thought they were going to be. That glue is still tacky, so we're in good shape. And I'm going to try not to get my head in your way. While I'm gluing, let's find our rainbows here. While I'm gluing, March 7th, which will be this Saturday, I believe, I am taking part in a collab with JJ with Joy. And I've got a beautiful, actually I've got a couple of beautiful digitals to work with. I will have a video on the 7th and the, no, I take that back, the 17th and the 27th. I was going to be way ahead, wasn't I? So I'll have a new project. One of them is going to be a junk journal. The other one is going to be a different type of junk journal. So I hope you'll come back and watch. I'm also going to link the JJ with Joy playlist down there because we are going every day in the month of March. So there's a couple of those videos up already. Let's bring this one in. So you can come in and watch those. Get that off my hand. I had it backwards. And all I'm doing is using as many greens as I have. Now I've got to move this one closer for a minute. My eyes are not awake yet, and I'm having trouble seeing where this washi needs to go. But I kind of like the heathery, feathery green on there. And when I'm done, I'm going to come back and I'm going to roll it again just to make sure everything is pressed in where it belongs. And then we'll come back with our glitter. Green. Over time, your washi tape will lose its sticky. Some will lose it faster than others. So you want to make sure that either you're using it up or you're applying glue to wherever you're sticking it. Now, another thing to keep in mind is if you're just doing this like this and you want to make sure it really sticks, you could always go back over this with glossy accents, and that will help seal it in place. Okay, there's all of our washi tape. Now I'm going to close this up. I don't know where that one came from. Close this one up. And I'm going to roll this over. And I'm going to see if I can find the handle to my roller. Looks like that's going to need a glue spot. And I'm going to press this down really good because I want to make sure that washi tape is sticking. And I'm going to go counter cross with it, and I'm going to go with it. Okay, and there's that. So we have that. Now the other thing I'm going to use is my Westcott non-stick scissors. I get these at Walmart. The small ones come in a set of 3. And I don't know what happened to my medium size, but I have the big and I have the small. And then there's a medium pair that comes in with it too. I have no clue where that medium pair went. I might have not have even bought the set. I may have bought the big and then found the small. But Bob was wanting a pair the other day, so when we went to Walmart and I was showing him where they were at, all they had was the big pair individually and then the set with the small pair. And he said he didn't need the small pair. I should have made him go ahead and get them anyway, because then I'd have had another small pair and a medium pair for my travel kit. But, you know, wasn't thinking. And the triple set is under 20 bucks. I think it's like 15 or 16 bucks. So you're not spending a lot for really good scissors. So don't let anybody tell you that, you know, scissors are hard to clean and you can't use them with the glue. And because you know what? If you don't get the non-sticks, a little bit of acetone on a rag will take the sticky right off your scissors. It's not a big deal. Don't listen to the sales pitches. Scissors are so hard to clean when you get glue on them, and I don't care what I do, I can't get the glue off. Yeah, you can. A little bit of acetone and you'll be good. I use acetone around this house for just about everything. Glue off my table. Lids are, you know, labels off of jars. It all works. Okay, so we've got that on. Now paying attention to the directional, excuse me, of my pot of golds and my shamrocks. I know that this is going to be my top. So I'm going to come in. And I think Bob put these, he did. He put them on my hook backwards. Bob was using them the other day, and he knows where my tools are at, and he knows he can use them. So I'm going to come back in. That, and I'm going to use those because I don't want to use my sticky scissors for paper, just like I don't want to use my yarn and fabric scissors for paper. If you want to work efficiently in your craft room, all of your tools should have a specific use, and you'll be much happier with the outcome. Okay, so the other thing we're talking about today is sticker books. Now, I get these books at Hobby Lobby, and they have, well, this one's all used up, but they have dates in them here, and all kinds of icons that go for each of the months. And I use these to date all of my planners. But I have one for March here. And the other thing I have, bought these on clearance. These gnome stickers came out in various themes one year on a release. And by that fall, they were clearancing them all out. So I think I'm going to use our dual team here that says Lucky. And because it's going to be on part of that glitter, I am going to add a little extra glue to these. These are really super sticky. They're really sticky, but I'm going to add a little extra glue behind them just to be sure that they stick to the glitter. Because things don't like to stick to glitter very well. So I'm just going to rub a little bit of glue on the back, give them a little encouragement. And I'm going to set him right down there. And that's going to be it for our gnomes. I'll put those away, and I'm looking to see if there's anything on here I can use. Let's use St. Patrick's Day off on here, or Get Your Green On. I think I like the St. Patrick's Day. But to make it work, we're going to stick it to cardstock, and then we're going to raise it up. So I'm going to take and stick it onto the cardstock. So it will pop off of that washi tape. And I got to have my cheaters for this, and I don't know where there they are. I was going to say, I don't know where they are. I worked really heavily last week getting the sewing corner cleaned. And I've got to get some more stuff put away today. Now I can just barely see that outline on there, and I'm going to follow it as best I can. I'm not going to worry about being up close. In fact, let's get rid of some of the excess off of here. Sometimes getting rid of the excess makes trimming a small piece easier. If you get your extra cardstock or paper out of the way, then you're better off. Now I'm going to trim that off there a little bit because I didn't want that rim of that paper. I don't know where it came from. And I think I've got some really pretty yarn. So last week, Stampin' Up! Had free shipping day. Yeah, there isn't anything I need. Should have known better. And I really didn't need anything, but they are starting to make some changes. Now I'm going to take the garden green and I'm going to let that pop just a little bit. I'm just going to go around it with the garden green. But they're talking about how they are, you know, it's time to drop the new in colors, and what was the other thing? I had it on the tip of my tongue. There was another thing that they are doing. And so things are going to change. Prices are going to go up, which, you know, you can't complain. Well, you can, but it doesn't do you any good because, you know, prices are going to go up. That's just the way of the world. But I thought, okay, they're getting rid of the in color, and they had, 2 years ago, they had brought back Pretty in Pink as an in color after having gotten rid of it several years prior. So I thought, well, I use the Pretty in Pink a lot, so I better go in and check and see if I need cardstock. Well, come find out I didn't need cardstock, and it's a good thing because it was out of stock, low, something like that. So it wasn't really going to be a viable option anyway. But I checked. Okay, so as you notice from this sticker pad, I've used pretty much everything off of here I was going to use, the numbers particularly. So I'm going to set this offside, just like that. Now I'm thinking, because it's hitting that glitter, it might not stick as well. I guess it's going to stick pretty well. There's not much of it on that glitter. Okay, so I've got that. Now we need a hole punch. And we're going to need a fiber, and this tag will be done. So, with sales, things are always slammed, so I will be back with a haul video as soon as that order comes in. Now, I want to look in my greens. See what I have. I have a lot of really wide green. Oh, no, let's do... I had an idea and then I looked at it and decided I didn't like it. So let me see here. My ribbon drawer is behind me. You know, we've got the glitter on there. Let's use this and cut it down. Because this is going to be too wide, obviously. But let's go ahead and cut it down. And I'm going to put this pin in here. And then we'll come back with my ribbon scissors. Trim that down, and then this needs trimmed down, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. I might have got this at Hobby Lobby. Aside from my Stampin' Up! Ribbon, I was getting a lot of ribbon at Hobby Lobby, and that's may have been where this came from. Okay, so there's that, and put away. I'll leave those out. And I think I just want to tie this. I don't think I want to try looping it. My fingers are still not awake yet. So we're going to take this. And I don't know where my time is at. I'm not standing up to look. But we're going to pull that up here. And then I'm going to snip this at an angle. Like that. Well, that was... There we go. Almost need trimmers for the ribbon, don't we? Okay. Now, how are we doing on time? We're at 18 minutes. Let me look here really quick. Holidays. Most of my holiday is shamrocks. But I'm thinking, do I really want to put... That one doesn't have a backing on it. Thinking the horseshoe might be a little too much. Okay, I'm not going to try and do that on camera. I need to let my fingers settle up a little bit. So I will come back, and what I will do is I will take string and I will add that horseshoe for luck to the tag. I hope you've enjoyed this little tutorial, and a reminder to use your stuff. Dig back into something you have not touched for at least a year and see what you can do with it. In the meantime, please remember to like, share, subscribe. Check the link for JJ with Joy down in the description box below, and creative blessings.